Most people say they would change their past, but they're not telling the truth. Because if you change one thing, you might lose everything. And that is the part no one talks about. Let me ask you something honestly. If you could go back and change your past, would you? At first, it sounds like an easy yes. Of course, you would. Fix the weird moments, avoid the wrong people, make better decisions, maybe even fix your haircut in 1998. But the more I thought about it, the more uncomfortable the answer became. Because when I looked back at my life, I didn't just see mistakes. I saw moments that shaped me, even the ones I did not like. I've never really been the type to make reckless decisions. I don't rush into things. I don't usually ignore advice. So no, I don't have a long list of regrets, but that doesn't mean everything went perfectly. There were moments where I thought I should have handled that better. I wish reacted differently. I wish I had more control, and sometimes I didn't even have control, which is probably the hardest part to accept. Because it's easy to say, I changed that, but what if you couldn't? When I was younger, there were situations at school where I was bullied. And looking back now, I sometimes think if I had the choice, I would have left. But I did not because I was young, because it was not my decision, because I did not know I had options. And for a long time, I saw that as something negative, something I wish never happened. But now I see it differently because these moments taught me things I wouldn't have learned any other way. They taught me awareness, they taught me how to read people, they taught me how to protect myself. There was a time I stayed longer than I should have at work or at some company. I was patient, I gave effort, I showed up every day, and deep down I knew something was not right. But I stayed because you tell yourself, maybe it will get better. Maybe I just need to try harder. Maybe I'm overthinking. But it did not get better. And if I'm being honest, I knew that way earlier than I admitted. But I stayed anyway, and I think we all do that sometimes. We stay in places that do not value us, just because leaving feels harder. Let's be honest for a second. We have all had that moment where we knew something was not a good idea. Your brain said no, even your common sense disappeared, and you were still like, let's try anyway. Why do we do that? Like, seriously, why do we convince ourselves that this time will be different? So, yes, there are things I would change, small things maybe. Moments where I wish I had more confidence, more courage, more clarity. But the big things, the um, the moments that actually taught me things, I don't think I would touch them because those are the moments that changed me the most. Those moments taught me boundaries. They taught me when to walk away. They taught me what I deserve and what I will never accept again. And most importantly, they shaped a version of me that I really like today. Not perfect, but aware. And honestly, if I removed all these bad decisions, I will probably remove half my personality too. And let's be real, that would be boring. I don't think we really want to change our past. I think we just wish it did not hurt that much when it happened. So tell me honestly, would you change your past or would you keep it? Because it made you who you are today. Let me know in the comments. If this made you think, subscribe because we are going to talk about things we all feel but don't always say. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.